Good morning, good afternoon. So I've taken like a lazy morning, slow morning to rest, and I've slept quite well this night. And now I'm ready to continue my journey, my scientific journey. And perhaps today I will continue. To speak about non-scientific stuff that I planned. There are several open issues that should be addressed. I should say that before we speak about everything, there are two issues that I feel very obliged to mention. I've spoken about it a lot during the last couple of days, but I feel that I need to say it again, even if just for the record. First, regarding the female titans. No, the justification that supposedly they are robots of the Israelis, and not only the Israelis, all sorts of people around the world, is not accepted. It is accepted only to an extent, as I've said many times. I understand that they are slaves. In order to be a slave, you don't have to be a robot. I don't consider myself a robot, and certainly I'm a slave. I know that I'm a slave. I need to be rescued from this prison, from this Nazi hell. And slavery doesn't require special high-tech methods or scientific high scientific proficiency. On the contrary, slavery was very common, throughout all ages, without any technology almost at all. The only technology that is needed in order for slavery to exist is the technology of the club, the big stick. Violence is the only presupposition of slavery. So, violence was, existed since forever. So I understand it, but all these justifications are only, they are applicable to an extent, and the Titan females, they have long past this. Their whatever privilege that they can, or leniency that they can get. These are evil creatures, and as I've said, and I said it again and again, the way that they treat my daughters, or better say, the way that they don't even think about my daughters at all, and they don't even think that their destiny is in any way related to them. It's not even on their agenda, and you understand it very well. There are many stuff that are on the Titan agenda. Yes, they want sex because they, of course, and they deserve to have sex. They are sexual creatures, and it was deprived from them. And yes, they want the nanobots, especially when they understood that it exists in such a quantity and quality. And yes, they want all sorts of stuff. But they don't even think. And yes, they have all sorts of plans regarding me, mostly stupid, so stupid that are evil. As I said many times, a certain level of stupidity is when you reach it, it's actually evil. And I said again and again, most of the Titan females view me as either Simba, the little Lion King, the small Lion King, when he sings about I want to be king with Mr. Bean advising him, or an alternative is the Little Prince of Antoine Exupéry, the French writer. Some kind of a sweet and magnificent creature from another planet that is so sweet, and that we all love him, and we must keep him so sweet and pure and pure, such as he is. And the last thing in the world that we want is him to becoming disgusting like all the other men that we see around us. And we know what will make him, what can corrupt him. You know what can corrupt the little prince? Money. If he will get money, he will be corrupted like all the other men. So it is imperative not to give him any money at all. He must be poor. He must be miserable and poor and penniless all his life. And all the money that is, that he should get, because it's his, because he gave us all the stuff to need in order to live. So we owe a ton of money, but the money should only be delivered to his Nazi captors, 100% of it. All the money, all the billions of money should be sent for decades to the Nazi captors. It's imperative that the little prince will not get even $1, because then he will be corrupted by the money, and we don't want him to be corrupted. He's so pure and sweet. We all love him so much. So these are the two, conceptualization of me by the Titan females of this world, both in Israel and abroad. Israel as someone who would Presumably one day in the future he would be a king, but until this day come, he needs to constantly be advised by the likes of Mr. Bean, like countless advisors, social workers, psychologists, and like all sorts of people. That are as practical as intelligent as Mr. Bean. Or the other, of course, he shouldn't get any money at all because he's a child. Children cannot handle money. Or alternatively, he's viewed like as a little prince, like as an alien, the cutest alien from another planet that is like so. He has artistic and philosophical inclination, and he's like literature and poetry, and he has like amazing all sort of like ideas that that only a person from another planet can actually articulate, because he has such a different background, and we must keep him so pure. And the last thing in the world is that we want is that he will be corrupted. So we must not get any money at all. He needs to live in complete poverty. Like without money for food and clothes, he needs to eat from the trash and dig things from the trash, because we don't want him to be corrupted. We don't want him to be corrupted like the other men that is all around us. We want him to be like is magnificent, and we all love him so much. He needs to keep being that magnificent, so he should never get no money at all. And all the money that we owe him, we should only give him to Nazis that are keeping him like in his prison. Only the captors of the little prince should get the money that he deserves, because we don't want him to be corrupted. So these are, the two conceptualizations of the Titan females. And needless to say, both are, extremely evil. Extremely evil. But on top of that, they don't, all of them seem to, they don't even, it's not even in their calculation that this little prince or Simba, actually he has two daughters that he's raising since they were born. And they don't even think that of them as something that is in any way relevant to their life. It's not that they don't like feel the need to help them. They don't even think that it's something that it's irrelevant. They don't even think about it, and it's amazing. How stupid can you be? Like, how disgusting can you be? Don't you understand that these two little girls are tortured since they were born by the Israeli state? Don't you see? And how can you not see? I speak about it every day, that I didn't see them for like almost half an year, and that they are tortured by it, and that they suffer, and they develop psychological trauma already. And they don't understand why the father doesn't want to be with them. And of course, I speak with them a lot, and I tell them that I love them so much, but I cannot explain them the reality. The reality is that the state of Israel is trying to pressure me to give my flesh and blood to them, because it's not enough that I give them everything for like so many decades. They also want to rape me. They want me to be their whore, both of the males in the Shabak and also the female Titans. And they stated very clearly. I got fired from the last job, and because I didn't agree to be the whore that they wanted me to be. And after that, when they took my job from me, they took my money from me, the only thing that was left to be taken is my daughter. So they take my daughter from me, in order for me to agree not only to give them all the nanobots that you see, like all my flesh and blood, but also to be their whore. Because it wasn't enough. Giving everything to them wasn't enough. They saw that I should also be their whore. Both of the males and the females. Both of the pedophiles and homosexuals in the Shabak, the homo sapiens, and the Titan females that, want to have sex for any reason at all. I should be their whore. It was stated very, very clearly. And that's why my daughters were taken away from me. And it's amazing that the Titan females, both in Israel and abroad, do not even think that it's their business in any way. Like, I didn't even get any message like from them, and I've got a ton of message from them during like the last like years, and especially a couple of months. But no one even addressed the issue. This was not even part of the agenda of nobody. You have girls, nice. Daughters, nice. Fine, like whatever. It's not our business at all. You have maybe legal issues, whatever. Custody. We don't. We don't know about it. It's illegal stuff. Sort it out. You're a smart person. So sort it out yourself. It didn't even cross their mind that there are young children that are tortured because of them. Because of them. If it wasn't for the Titan females and the way that they depend on me so much, the Israeli government, state, and the Israeli government wouldn't care about me that much. I am the key to the subjugation of the Titans, and also to gain huge amounts of money that is, transferred from the Titan females abroad and their disgusting husbands, like in the various intelligence services of the West. And the government of Israel, I mean, the state, it's not only the government, the state wants both the money that is involved and also the nanobots that are involved, because they have to eat it as well. So this all comes from the issue of the Titans, and they don't even think that it's their business. Not at all. And I've said it again, it's not nothing to hear, but this kind of reluctantness does not come from the fact that they are robots or that they are electric cars. No. This cruelty towards children is embedded in their country, in their homelands, which is the planet, most probably somewhere in the planet Venus. And the fact that most of the inhabitants of the planet Venus are, as we know, females. And this is not, you cannot blame the Israelis for, the genocide of the Venusian males. It will be incredulous. Yes, the Israelis are monsters, but they cannot conduct a genocide in a planetary scale. It's way out of their capabilities. The only possible solution is that they themselves kill the males. And this could be done in two ways. In modern in modern societies, modern is a complicated word with many meanings, but I would say that in a society that has the ability to have large states, large politeas, as I often use the term Plato used, politea, like large systems of government, of like states, and also conduct wars in the I would say in the imperial scales, not necessarily like the Romans did, but like maybe the Sumerians or maybe the early Assyrians. If they reach this kind of technology and also social logistics, it's possible to get to a situation of huge disparity between males and females, that there are much more females than males, by endless conflict. This is possible, and it actually happened in years, like not in a planetary scale, but from time to time, like during history, it happened that the social systems grew in sophistication to, I would say, like early imperial level, or to like sophisticated kingdoms relatively, and also of course they also with that typically they also transcend from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age, so their weapons become much more lethal. So, and of course they like to fight because humans are garbage. So they fight each other, and then it's and of course mostly males are are typically part of the fight. So yes, it's kind of a route or a pathway to the situation of huge disparity between males and females. But Venus is not there yet. They have amazing technologies, but that even some technologies that the Venusians hold are even beyond what humans have now. But in general, in the most general sense, it's obvious that they are far below, far lower in the technological tree than humans on Earth. This is certain for many reasons, and I'm certain that they didn't reach I'm almost certain that they didn't reach Iron Age. But I'm not entirely certain about it. And of course, Iron Age is not like something that you reach in all the planets at the same times. People on Earth, the Iron Age was first. I think. I don't actually know where it was first, but probably somewhere close to here. Probably in Egypt. I think the Egyptians were the first to reach the Iron Age, but I'm not really certain about it. But the North American Native Americans never reached the Iron Age until the European colonization. So this could come on all sort of they can have at the Iron Ages and in various times. So I'm almost certain that they didn't reach the Iron Age and Venus. But most importantly, and much more important than that I'm certain that they did not reach the social sophistication of early imperial humans, like the Sumerians and the Assyrians. And without that, you cannot conduct large-scale wars. the only you can fight, of course. I mean, monkeys can fight as well. You know, the chimpanzees sometimes they fight each other in groups of more than 100. Like more than 100 chimpanzees fight more than 100 other chimpanzees. This is amazing. It's amazing. It's actually one of the most amazing things that I've ever heard about, like the animal kingdom. It's like, in order like for such a I mean, it means that chimpanzees are close to humans in like social sophistication, because more than 100, it's like, I mean, it means that they can actually cooperate with people that they with individuals that they do not know, like, I mean, that they can identify with group that they do not like personally know the individuals in the group. This is a sophistication that can only be achieved either by humans or by, like, I mean, social, like hive creatures, like, I mean, ants and bees, which is completely different. Like, I mean, this is completely different social system. But outside of the realms of of hives, like bees of ants and wasps, only humans, I mean, can cooperate with people that with individuals that they do not know. But I mean, apparently not only humans, but also chimpanzees. This is amazing. So yes, you can conduct wars even if you are a chimpanzee, but you cannot like conduct a large scale genocide of males if you don't reach the imperial early imperial social sophistication. And certainly they didn't get there. This is something that I'm certain, much more than I'm certain that they didn't arrive to the Iron Age. So that's not the root of social disparity, but there is another pathway to social disparity, and actually even this pathway was also actually taken to some extent by several human Homo sapiens cultures, and this is even something that is more disgusting, and even people speak about it even less, but it actually happened, and this is the systematic murdering of male babies that are not they do not held in some kind of standard that, I mean, society placed on male babies. I mean, if a male baby is not perfect, or it doesn't need to be perfect, but I mean close to perfect in whatever metrics that the social group holds, they just kill him, just kill the baby. And this was actually performed in Earth quite a bit, and the best known example today, I think, is Sparta, the Spartan. They didn't always do it, but certainly they did it in their in the beginning, when they were before. Sparta was actually, I mean, eventually it became something like an empire, and they were mostly, I mean, more than the typical warriors that you see in movies like 300. They were more I mean, slave traders and I mean, plantation owners. I mean they were more they were more akin to I mean, the scumbags of the Confederacy than, I mean, the people that you see in movies like 300. But yes, it's true that, I mean, earlier I mean, in their history, they were pretty much like the ones that you see in 300. And part of that was, yes, they killed the male babies that were not seemed good enough. And that's also another way to reach a huge disparity, and I am certain that that was the route that the evolution took. And I will say another thing: you can see it right now by the way that they act. You can see this right now, the way that they don't care about children, the way that they don't have any mercy towards babies and towards little children, is imbued in their culture. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of those Titan females, actually, when they were in Venus, they actually killed their own babies. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised at all. You see it by the way that they behave, by how they speak, and most of all by what they do not say, by the things that you do not care about at all, by the things that they're out of their radar, it's not their business at all. You understand that these people, these creatures, are, I mean, they are part of their home world. Their home societies are cruel to children and babies. Cruel to children and babies. And I'll say it once again, I did not come from this place. I have never been in Venus in my life. Never. I don't know how even, like, I have no idea how it looks. Even, I mean, I just have all sorts of divinations and of course scientific like understanding of like both the conspiracy and what's, I mean, shreds of truth can be deduced, like, I mean, beyond I mean, from, like, I mean, between the I would say the windows, I mean, or through the windows of the conspiracy. But it's mostly, I mean, divinations and like prophecies and I would say deductions, like scientific deductions. I've never been there. It's not my place. It's certainly not my home world, and I do not consider myself one of them because they are disgusting. I lament the fact that they are. I mean, I'm sympathized to the cause because they are slaves here. So I mean, of course, I prefer the position. I mean, I'm more sympathetic to the position of the slaves and the slave owners, but I never thought of myself like as a Venusian, and I understood very quickly for many reasons that I'm a different kind. And I've written about the cherubs like just from the start, like from early 2020, like just after I started like my discovery, like my journey, I started my blog and I've written about the cherubs, and I've written very clearly that I am not a Venusian. This was stated very clearly in the post that is called the space race, something like that, and also the post that and another post from from early 2020 that it was reposted several times in Twitter and Facebook, so you can read it. I've stated very clearly I am not one of them. I understood that I'm not one of them, and certainly not Homo sapiens, and I understood that I'm a third kind, and I've I termed the coin. I didn't term the coin. I didn't coin the term, but I adapted the term cherubs or kruvim, of course following the biblical. Not only biblical, but biblical and Near East very known creatures. Because I did not come from such a planet. My culture does not allow killing babies, either your own or others people. It's not something that we do. We do not do that to children, we do not do that to babies. And it is obvious that the Venusians do, because you just need to take a look and see how they treat my own children. Or better yet, how they do not even think that it's their business in any way. They think that it's something, I mean, that's entirely unrelated to them. Even like, I mean, 1 second of thought would have been like enough for them to understand that these 2 little girls are tortured just because their father is a key factor in the subjugation of the Titans and in the money in the money industry, like, I mean, the big financial gains that are gained from the Titans and their scumbag companions in intelligence services of the West. And this is of course all related to the Titan issues. So yes, just a minute of thought would have been enough for any like creatures, any Titan, any Venusian, female or not female, doesn't matter, in order to understand that these girls are tortured because of them, and they owe them to do anything that is in their power to stop the torturing of little girls. And it's all done because of them. And when they send money to the Nazi captors, they facilitate this torture. And none of them even thought about it at all. Didn't even occur in their minds, because they arrive from a culture that it's customary to kill their own babies. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of them actually did it. Of course, many arrived like as babies themselves here, but I mean, those that were actually like had like history of like grown-ups in Venus, I wouldn't be surprised if they killed their own babies, because that's the way they act, right here, right now. And no, I do not accept like the electric car excuse as valid. No, it's not a valid excuse. These people are evil and disgusting. And needless to say, they will never get like the stuff that I prepare, and I don't even want to be in there. Like, if I wasn't a prisoner, I would my like preference would be never to see any of them. They disgust me. Even more than the Homo sapienses, because Homo sapienses they do not depend on me. They treat me like garbage, and and their planet, is doomed for destruction because the way they treat strangers. But I mean, the least that, I mean, it's not that high praise, but I mean, at least you can say that they do not need me in order to exist. The Titans need me in order to live. And yet, they torture me, they take all my money from me, they participate in the torture of my children, and and on top of everything, they never shut their mouths. They keep giving me advices, like Mr. Bean advices, like I'm little Simba, all day long. Because one day, presumably, he will be a king. So he needs to get a lot of advice, tons of advices from advisors, consultants, social workers, judges. I mean, like prison wards, lawyers, endless advice. And it's imperative that he will never get 1 shekel. He needs to be as poor, the poorest and the most disgusting and humiliated person, because we don't want to corrupt this future king and little prince. We want him to keep him pure and innocent and sweet. And money will corrupt him. Money will put him in the same corrupted situation that we can see all around us with all the rich and powerful, like people of the various intelligence services of this world. We don't want him to be like them. We don't want him to be like them. They are so. I mean, it's obvious that all their money corrupted them, and they are power hungry, and they are disgusting, and they are manipulative. And the last thing in the world is that we want is that the little prince will be corrupted to be like them. So it's imperative that he will never have a shekel. He needs to be the poorest person in earth. He needs to wear the same pants day after day because he has no money to buy others. He doesn't even have a belt. Like he uses ropes like the most disgusting homeless. He should sleep on a bed on a mattress that is taken from the garbage that smells like cat's pee. He needs to be the poorest person in Israel, because otherwise money will corrupt him. And we want to keep him sweet as he always had been. We want to keep him naive and sweet and just so nice and cute. This is the agenda of the Titans, both in Israel and abroad. And this is evil beyond imagination. And no, the electric car excuse is not acceptable. These people are evil, and I don't want anything to do with them. Anything at all. They disgust me, and I think that their life is not worth living, because such life is not worth living. A life of such betrayal and such ungratefulness and such and like to participate in the crucifixion of the person that your life depends on him. I will say it again. I cannot imagine any culture like in this universe. Not only like humanoid culture, but any culture that be the synthetic culture or biological one that was evolved from anything, from pigs or from giraffes or from dolphins. Never mind the origin of the culture. Any culture that I can imagine would view such like creatures like the Titan females as disgusting. It's impossible that any culture will be created that will allow such ungratefulness. You don't need to believe in God. You don't need to believe in anything at all. It's so, it's so like disgusting that, and like that. It's something that doesn't even require explanation. Any kind of creature, robots, nanobots, superbots, megabots, transformers, like Decepticons, biological apes, biological dolphins, biological pigs, biological giraffes, like bird people, bat people, ant-men, any kind of culture would say that this kind of behavior, the crucifixion of the person that your life depends on him, is the most disgusting thing that can, like, and unacceptable, and the people that act that way should be eradicated. Now, regarding science, I'll do it quickly. So yesterday we prepared this amount of nanobots. It's much smaller than the pot that I've gave to the cats the day before, but this is undiluted. The other ones were diluted by water like heavily. So actually this one contained much more nanobots, because the process that I've done yesterday was actually much better process. that allows me for like a much faster creation of nanobots, but I'm still like my main limitation is, as I spoke about it already, that I need to to remove the foam like all the time, because when the foam is created, they stop because they don't see that what's on top. So I should like think about like and I've started to speak about it. I need like a better process that will to allow like more constant without me need to like to remove the foam every time. This can be done in several ways, using centrifuges or using hoses. Anyway, I think that one of the the reasons for the quick creation of the foam is this. It's kind of like it's a metal pot. It's a metal pot. That I've placed like the very big magnet that I've taken from the 1000-watt speaker, like on the middle of it. So actually, most of the liquid is just on the relatively like narrow strip that is between the outer side of the magnet and the sides of the pot, and the electrolysis rods, and I've placed several rods like from hard wire that my mother bought me from the apartment. The hard wire that I bought, a very hard wire. It's important that it will be hard because it should be placed just in the middle, and it's actually it's delicate because it's attracted very strong both to the magnet and to the pot itself that got magnetized very quickly. The pot itself got magnetized very quickly, and so it's both. Both the pot is a magnet and the magnet itself is very, very strong. So so it should be placed just in the middle. So so it will not touch one of them, because if it touches one of them, then there is like a shortcut in the circuit. And it's also important that to put like those like close barriers that on the outside, so the rods will not touch it's very important that the rods will not touch the magnet or the pot, and of course that they touch each other. Because if it touches, there is a shortcut, and immediately you see that the electrolysis stops. So what I think it happens is that actually when electrolysis starts, you see like it's kind of like whirlwind, like turbulence around it, which is typical. But since it's like it's like both the particles that are eroded from the rods are metallic, and presumably the neros are either like metallic, or they are quickly like galvanized with metallic particles. They are they are attracted to the I need to think like more about what actually happens. I cannot say that I have like the idea formulated, but I tell you what you can see. You can see that there is turbulence, like a quick turbulence, like surrounding the rods. And this, of course, is something that is certainly related to very strong magnetic force that the particles are subjected to. So the magnetic force is a constant one. It's not a changing magnetic force. My thought was, initially and still is that that a changing magnetic force would be much more beneficial for energetic purposes, because this will allow current to be created, and maybe this will also something.